Well, this Saturday marks the 16th annual Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. 12,000 breast cancer patients, survivors, and family members, and everyone else, perfect strangers in many cases, are expected to converge on downtown Evansville.
And what's especially remarkable, each person there has a unique story and completely different experience with this terrible disease. Well, tonight we introduce you to one of those remarkable women, Lori White, the owner of Achieve Academy of Dance. She's mastered tap and tumbling. Now at 51, Lori White is dancing her toughest number yet.
Within a matter of few seconds, your life changes completely.
In March, a typical mammogram told Lori she's cancer-free, but given her age and being described as having dense breast tissue, she wanted to know for sure and decided to have an ultrasound, a test typically not covered by insurance.
Thank heavens, because that's when the ball started rolling. They started detecting something that looked suspicious. If I had not done that, my life next year would be totally different than what it is this year. You know, I have that chance to live. So I'm very thankful that I pushed myself with that gut feeling, you know, to have the ultrasound.
Lori says it's now her mission to spread the importance of getting an ultrasound. That's what drove her to sign up for her first Race for the Cure.
This year, I'm going to have to carry my box of Kleenexes because it does hit so close to home now, you know, because it's still so fresh with me. I'm not one that I can say I've survived a year yet, or I've survived the 5 years or the 10-year mark. You know, I'm still just chalking off months.
Her race team, Glory for Lori, is more than 70 strong, from relatives to her family at Achieve Academy of Dance, a studio she's owned for more than 25 years.
I have the best support system in the world.
They truly came through when breast cancer forced Lori to slow down. Staff members finished competition costumes she had been making by hand. Dancers' families ran a meal train that spanned months. Enjoying those meals, though, was tough. Lori lost her sense of taste, a common side effect of chemo. Another side effect Lori didn't mind as much, losing her hair. Maintaining it was just too much of a pain, but she is certainly enjoying its return.
It's there, see?
Life is now waltzing back to the craziness Lori oh so loves. She hopes to soon resume teaching dance class. But since her case is more complicated, being tissue-based, doctors told her the curtain won't close on cancer until 2023.
That's okay. You know, I'm going to be there in 10 years. So we'll celebrate in 10. I'd like to celebrate in 5, but I'm celebrating right now because today's the day to celebrate, you know, and tomorrow.
And a lot to celebrate. Lori plans to have reconstructive surgery shortly after Race for the Cure. Now, she really wants to drive home the importance of those ultrasounds because, like I mentioned, a mammogram told her she was cancer-free. Lori thinks that's why breast cancer continues to be so deadly. Well, this year's Komen Race for the Cure is Saturday in downtown Evansville. The Survivor Recognition Program starts at 8. The actual race is at 9. I'll be there with Eyewitness News' Laura Kirtley and former anchor Shelley Kirk. Join us for our 1-hour special, Eyewitness News for the Cure, on Race Day. It'll air Saturday at 6 on WEHT Local and also at 10 on Local 7. And speaking of Race for the Cure, for women battling breast cancer, there's nothing scarier than battling it alone. Well, fortunately, there are several ways local women can face this frightening journey together. Tonight, we introduce you to Beth Cummings, who was very new to the area when she was first diagnosed. You might see her every day, but avoid stopping to find out why. Above Franklin Street and Burkhardt Road, Beth Cummings is sharing her story, a story far too familiar to 1 in 8 women.
We had 16 people in our office at work. One lady had had breast cancer. She just came back to the office from being off after her sick time, and then I was diagnosed. So it just really hit home that that's definitely, you know, that number is an actual true number.
It was July 2010. Beth had 2 unsuccessful lumpectomies, followed by a mastectomy.
It was very frightening. You know, you're imagining how it's going to affect just how your clothes fit and what you look like and how people perceive you.
Beth had to stay strong. She was a single mom at the time to 2 teenage daughters.
It was very emotional seeing your parent, who's always been there to take care of you, be in so much pain. I think it was the hardest thing for me, and just, you know, she's my rock, and I've always gone there to help her, and it's just different when they actually do need your help. It was just really hard to cope with.
New to town, Beth found strength in the Ribbon Chicks, a breast cancer support group for women under 45.
It's strange what a sisterhood it's become. I mean, I have a whole group of friends that have become family to me ever since this happened.
Get set.
Family that continues to grow through Race for the Cure. Beth participated in her first one just months after diagnosis. She calls it the most empowering thing she's ever experienced.
I just turned around and I could see all those women who have been there, have gone through it before me. They're all thriving. They're all there with their families. So, you know, it gave me a sense of hope and more determination because I knew I'd be okay too.
Her daughters now walk annually by her side. Breast cancer even inspired her oldest, Samantha, to volunteer with Komen at tissue banks. She'll be doing that in Kenya next year. It also forced Stephanie to grow up quick. She's graduating high school a year early so she can attend college for a career in education. This year's Komen Race for the Cure is this Saturday in downtown Evansville. The Survivor Recognition Program starts at 8. The race is at 9. I'll be there with Eyewitness News' Laura Kirtley and former anchor Shelley Kirk. Join us for our 1-hour special Eyewitness News for the Cure. It's on race day. It will air Saturday at 6 on WEHT Local and also at 10 on Local 7. The average age a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer is 61, but too often we hear about younger women being stricken with this terrible disease. Tonight we introduce you to Megan Danks, a mother of 2 who learned in her early 30s her life would forever change. We all need a little guidance at times. That's why Megan and Joe Danks named their daughters Faith and Ashley Grace, names chosen just in case they need a reminder of how to overcome life's adversities.
It was very emotional and very much a whirlwind.
In March 2011, when Megan was just 32 years old, she was diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer.
It wears on you just because when you care about somebody so much and you don't really know the outcome of what's going to happen, that can be difficult to deal with.
The Danks didn't wait for chemo to capture Megan's blonde locks. They hosted a haircut party where friends and family snipped off a piece of Megan's do. Her hair ended up shaved into a mohawk.
I didn't even cry that night. That was really fun, but the 5 months of chemo got very taxing towards the end. It just got harder and harder.
Her body battled chemo, a lumpectomy, and radiation. 9 months of treatment that also caused weight gain. Megan calls it a pregnancy gone bad.
And that was really hard. To have no hair and to be 35 pounds overweight was really, really tough for me. And it was really good, I feel like really good for my girls to just see where true beauty lies.
She really showed us how to be strong and to not give up on things.
There's no way I could have ever made it through had I not just trusted that God was still in control. Even though it didn't feel like it or seem like it, he totally was in control, and that made every difference.
The Danks parties are now different, a 31 party where there's less uncertainty in celebrating and more simplicity. This soiree is all about shopping. A greater time there. Well, Megan is now 35 and is going through menopause, which is caused by chemo. Now, she really wants to stress, if you find a lump and you're young and healthy, take it seriously, even if, like her, you have no family history of breast cancer. It took some convincing initially from her family to get it checked out. Of course, now she's very relieved that she did. Megan will be participating in this year's Komen Race for the Cure. It's Saturday in downtown Evansville. The Survivor Recognition Program starts at 8. The race starts at 9. I'll be there with Eyewitness News' Laura Kirtley and former anchor Shelley Kirk. Join us for our 1-hour special Eyewitness News for the Cure on race day. It will air Saturday at 6 on WEHT Local, also at 10 on Local 7.
And it's going to be a beautiful day downtown there, and you know, just a lot of wonderful people coming together. Love Megan's story, and Shelley Kirk, of course, a survivor. She beat it, and she is doing fantastic. So it's going to be a
very
great night.
upbeat women. Well, still ahead, surveillance footage